Hi, Abby. How are you doing?
Hi, sir. Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. So today, what do you want to do?
So at school we had a couple exams that we did, and some topics I found a little bit tricky. So I just
Okay.
wanted to go through some of them with you, if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine. That's fine. So why don't you share with me? So I'll just let you share the screen. Yeah, you can share with me, and then we'll work on those things.
I think it's that.
What? Okay. Yeah, it's sharing.
Okay, cool. It's kind of like backwards, so I need to kind of go all the way down here
Mhm.
and go from question one onwards.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. I think question one was fine. It was two. So,
Okay, sure. Yeah.
so
Yes. So
yeah,
can you read the question?
yeah. So a Coast Guard station monitors the movement of a small boat. At 10 o'clock, the boat is at point the vector vi minus 2j kilometers relative to O. At 12:45, the boat is at point minus 3i minus 5j kilometers relative to O.
Correct.
The motion of the boat is modeled as that of a particle moving in a straight line at a constant speed. Part A, calculate the bearing on which the boat is moving, giving your answer in degrees to one decimal place.
Correct. Right.
And
So bearing means from the north, correct? The angle from the north. That's what it means. So what you need to do is first thing first, you have to kind of sketch. So when you tried 4i minus 2j, so 4 on this side and minus 2j, let's say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and minus 2j means the point is here, right? And then the second point is minus 3i minus 5j. So we say 1, 2, 3, and minus 5. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So approximately here, correct? So let me just connect them with a line. So those 2 points which we have, so we can just connect them with a line. Just say these are the 2 points which we are talking about. Is that correct?
yeah,
So at 10 a.m., the boat is at this position. So A is my first position, which is at 10 a.m. Is it okay? So 10 a.m.
oh, right, okay. Yeah,
So position B is at 12:45, right? So these are
yeah,
the 2 positions. So the part A is calculate the bearing on which the boat is moving, giving your answer. So basically, the bearing is the angle in which it is moving, right?
mhm,
So you need this direction. You need this direction. Okay? And then you have part B is calculate the speed of the boat, giving your answer in kilometers per hour. So these are your 2 parts. So basically, you have to find the velocity. Right? Speed
mhm.
is the magnitude and bearing is the angle. So basically, you need to find the velocity. Is that okay? So the velocity vector is something which you need to find. Correct?
Wait, so how come, so you know that it's moving in that direction?
Because at 10 a.m., it is at location A, which is 4i minus 2j.
Mm.
And at 12:45, that means after 2 hours and 45 minutes,
Oh, so it has to be that way. Okay,
yes,
yeah,
it has to be that way,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So it is that's the bit. So let's start with the distance speed, right? So let's find the speed magnitude. So you can find the magnitude of speed by the coordinates of these 2 points, right? So distance formula will give you the speed. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Let's find the distance. So what is the distance between AB? Distance AB is how much?
So you've
Square
got,
root of x2 minus x1 square, right? So the I components are the x1, x2. So minus 3 minus 4
like,
plus the y components being minus 5 and minus of minus 2 will be plus 2 whole square. Is it clear?
yeah.
So 7 square is 49 plus 5 plus what whole square did I write? 5 minus 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Yeah. So that means minus 3 9 square is 9, right? So you can use your calculator uh, to find this distance because we need to give this distance speed of the boat giving your answer in kilometers per hour, right?
Yeah.
So 49 plus this is 58 square root. So you can find this answer, square root 58.
5 root 2. Oh, 58.
Yeah, you get what? 49 plus 9, right? So
7.615.
9 equals to square root. Answer equals to 58 square root, which is in decimals 7.6, right?
Yep.
Kilometers per hour. Is it clear to you? Sorry. No, this is only the distance. I'm sorry. This is only the distance. And the time taken is how much? 2 hours and 45 minutes. Find the time. Time is 12:45, right?
Wait, so are we doing part B?
We are doing part B first.
Oh, okay.
So distance and time, we will find speed first. Magnitude, and then we'll find the direction. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Because you know how we've discussed this, like, you know, with usually the questions they give, they like you want to do it in order, part A and then part B, but sometimes you end up doing it like part C first, maybe.
Yeah, it
so I was
doesn't
just checking with you. Okay.
Doesn't matter. So what I want you to understand is it doesn't really matter, right? If you want to find the angle, you have this particular triangle, correct? You can find the angle also. We can say this is my tan theta, right? Or any one angle, which is rise over run, right? So we can find the angle also. We'll do that. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we are finding part B first. Correct.
Okay.
So the time taken is, so 12 point, when it is 45, it means what? 3/4, right?
3/4 of an hour. Yeah.
So 0.75, right?
Mm-hmm.
So convert that minutes into hours. So you could do 45 divided by 60. So when you do 45 divided by 60, you got 3/4, right? And
0.7.
To that you add 2. So it is in hours, we have the answer, which is 2.75, right? So time is 2.75. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
And therefore, we got the speed, which is change in distance over change in time, and the total is, you can say 7.61, whatever you got there, divided by 2.75, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you have your answer.
$2.77.
Yeah, we will calculate the speed, giving the board your answer in. So maybe 7.7. Yes,
3.7. Three significant figures.
2.7. 3 significant figures. 2.77, right?
Okay.
Kilometers per hour. Is that clear to you?
Yeah. I think I get so caught up in doing it in the order, because I think I remember in the exam when I did this question, I found the bearing part so hard, and then it has no relation to part B, but I just kind of flustered and then just moved on. So I lost the 6 marks because I couldn't do part A. But as you've seen, that you can do the part B, so I could have at least got half the marks. Yeah. I
know that. You know what? Because I've been teaching you for a long time now. I know exactly how you will feel when you see this question, and because you're asking me this question, that means you got stuck at part A, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And therefore, you didn't move forward. So I started with part B. First thing first, when you read a question, whatever is simpler for you, start from there.
Oh.
We have to do both parts, right?
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. So it doesn't matter which one comes first.
A bearing angle is the angle from the north. Let me explain you what bearing angle is, right? So now we have this particular triangle, and in this triangle, we know the 2 points, correct? The points are 4i, and so difference in y is how much?
So you've got 4 there, and you've got -5.
So this is 1 unit, right? This is 1 unit. I mean, sorry.
3. Is it 3?
7 units. 7 units. 4 minus 3, 7 units, right? This distance 7 units. Change in x.
Oh yeah.
And change in y is how much? 3 units. Right?
3 units. Yeah.
Correct. So I'm making it very simple for you. So the change in y is 3 units, as you can see from these figures, right? And change in x is 7 units. This angle is the theta angle. So what is tan theta equals to?
Opposite over adjacent. So
3/7?
3/7.
So
Yeah.
theta is tan inverse. Find it out.
Um, 0.404.
Okay. No, degrees.
Oh, I've been working at school in thingy.
I think they expect you in degrees, right?
Yeah, they do. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
23.19.
Okay.
So 23.2 degrees.
So this is the angle which you can see here, right? So we are asking you, what is the bearing angle? You get the idea? Bearing angle means, now this is that angle which you can see. Now let's look into the bearing angle. What is bearing angle? Bearing angle is the angle from the north. That means it is actually going in this direction. Do you see the direction it is going? So from the north, I mean, so I should say this is what you need, bearing angle. Bearing angle is from the north, so the direction is this. Do you see this angle?
Yeah.
That is the angle which you have to report. So how much is that? If this is theta, then as you can see from here, this angle is 90 minus 23.2, right?
Yeah. But can't we do 180 minus?
No, I'll tell you.
Oh, no.
Then you add 180 to it.
That makes no sense.
Right. Then you add 1. Or, yeah, that is better.
Yeah,
So
no, that's the method.
90 minus 23.2 is how much?
Is 66.8.
Now, from here, 66.8 and then 180. Do you see that?
Plus 180. Yeah.
Correct.
246.8.
That is your bearing angle.
Oh, okay.
You get the idea?
Yeah, I think, when I did it, I kind of stopped. I don't know. I think I just did the 66.8. I didn't add on the 180.
Okay. Other way you could do, let's do the alternate also. You could find this angle, correct?
Oh, yeah.
That means what angle you found is this angle, correct? Which will be 66.8.
Oh, yeah.
And then add 180 to it. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
So find this, do tan inverse of 7/3.
$66.8.
Add 180.
246.8.
So which method you found simpler? This simpler, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So when you look at the question, try to make a figure, then if you're getting stuck at one part, see if you can do the other part first. At least you've done one part, right?
Yeah.
And you will get marks for that, correct? Three marks. You got 3 marks, correct? Now, by the time you finish the second part, you will get an idea like how should I have done the first part.
Oh, right. Yeah, because I'm more engrossed in the question and I've already done a couple calculations.
If you look into this part, it is easy to, let's say phi is this angle, find this angle. It makes more sense because this angle with the vertical is same as that angle.
Correct? Yeah.
And we have to report angle from the north. So we'll add 180 to this and get our answer. All this is clear to you now, right?
Yes. Yeah, very.
Right. So I'll clear this. We're done question number 1. Can you please tell me the strategy adopted in answering question number 2?
So, well, in the exam or what you just explained?
Yeah, in the exam, how will you approach?
Oh, okay. So when I come across it, first it's all about drawing a diagram.
Correct.
So yeah, do the axes and then plot the points. So you do 4 along the x-axis, -2 down, plot that as so at 10 o'clock. And then at 12:45, you've got -3, -5, and draw your triangle. So yeah, that's the first sketch. And because I know with vectors, the distance formula, I've already got 2 coordinate points. So just basically sub them in and start by calculating the distance of AB.
Correct.
So yeah, square root that, and when we got our answer, we had our distance, but then our time was between 10 o'clock, and 12:45. But we have to make sure it's in hours because the units say kilometers per hour. And then when we find that time in hours, we just do speed equals distance over time, and then you get your speed of the boat in the correct units. Okay, and then after we calculated part B, we can easily do part A, because we've got like all the calculations and we've got a triangle, our angle theta, and then use our values of 7 and 3, which is found by using those coordinate points, and find it. So because it's a bearing, we need to make sure it's from the north and clockwise. So then you find that theta value and then add 180.
Yeah. That gives you the angle from bearing. This is absolutely clear, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Next question.
Okay, so question 4 down, but I think I got that one. Where are you? Oh, sorry. Oh, I've done this so weirdly. Sorry, my bad.
No problem.
This one. Part B, I had an issue, but yeah, I guess we're going to work through it.
Yeah, read the question, please.
So in 1997, the average CO2 emissions of new cars in the UK was 190 grams. Is it grams per kilometer? In 2005, the average CO2 emissions of new cars in the UK had fallen to 169. So given that A is the average CO2 emissions of new cars in the UK, n years after 1997, and using a linear model, part A, form an equation linking A with n.
Correct. So you can very clearly see that the emission is decreasing, correct? But you are given two particular points. So you can write these two given points, and these points are that since 1997, right? So 1997 is like 0, right? Starting 0. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, and at that time, the level was 190, correct? Now, what is 205 minus 1997? How many years hence?
8.
5 and 3, 8.
8.
Correct. So 5 and 3, 8, it has gone to 169. Is that clear?
Yeah.
When you're saying linear model, you need to find the slope, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the slope has to be negative, as you have seen here. It is coming down, right? So we are expecting some equation, which is of the form y equals to mx plus b. And since we know the y-intercept is 190, we know the value of b, right? B is 190, correct? We need to just find the slope m, gradient.
Change in y.
So gradient is change in y, which is 169 minus 190 divided by 8 minus 0. So use calculator. It has to be negative. Tell me what do you get?
21 over 8.
21 over 8. Therefore, the line equation is y equals to minus 21 over 8x plus 190. Is that clear to you?
Mm-hmm.
So you're reducing from 190 at the rate of 21 over 8, right? Slightly more than 2 point something. Correct. So that is how you form a link between A and N. So we should use function notation in this. I just wrote the equation of line. So we are saying that given A grams per kilometer is the average CO2 emission, right? So A as a function of N, the number of years, is equal to minus 21 over 8n plus 190. Is that okay?
Yeah.
That becomes our equation in terms of the variables which are defined in the question.
Right.
Now, let's do part. So you make a note of this equation, minus 21 over 8n plus 190. So we have A as a function of n is minus 21 over 8n plus 190. Correct? Now part B is, in 2016, the average CO2 emission of new cars in UK was 120. So we are going in 2016. So from this, okay. Comment on the suitability of your model in light of this information. So 2016 will be how many years after 1997? 3 plus 6 is 19. So find what is A19. Calculate. So minus 21 over 8 times 19 plus 190. What do you get?
Oh, does that look right? 140.125.
140.12,
Yeah.
140, right? But we have 120, correct? So that means they improved, right? So earlier it was like kind of growing like this up to this point for sure, and we expected this to be here, but actually the result shows that it is lower, right? So instead of 140, it is 120. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of decrease, right? So that means there was much higher improvement in the efficiency of the cars, right, over a period of time. So that is what you have to comment on this particular situation. So it was a
So
linear model, yeah.
I said that when I did it, I think I just did a similar thing, but I subbed in 120 as A, and then found out the number of years was like around 27 years instead of 19.
Okay. But I think better approach is that in 2016, that was the average, right? So
Right.
as per our model, we expected it to be 140, correct? But it was actually reduced to 120.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that means the car industry worked much harder and they came out with much better solutions than the rate of improvement was higher uh, because of whatsoever reasons, could be technology or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It was much higher over next whatever years, right? 10 years.
Mhm.
Correct?
So how do you know what to sub in, whether it's the number of years like N or the outcome 120?
Okay. So you have to read the question. Can you please read the question again from here?
Yeah. So in 2016, the average CO2 emissions of new cars in the UK was 120. Part B, comment on the suitability of your model in light of this information.
Correct. So basically moving forward, as we see, 1997, 205, 2005, and then 2016. So according to our model, what do we expect in 2016? This is what you should be checking first, right?
Yeah.
And then what did we get? We did not get what was expected, but even better. And so we'll comment in this fashion. So that is going to be our approach, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, whenever we model a situation, mathematics is there to model the situations, correct? Now the situations change over time.
Oh, yeah.
The models will not work forever.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
So we have to see what is the variation from the model. So I think the one which we did now is better.
Yeah, yeah. So I had to have something along the lines that
Yes.
the cars have improved.
Correct.
And less CO2 is being emitted or something.
Correct.
Okay. And it's not what was expected.
Yeah. Let me take this call in between. Hello. हाँ धीरज, मैं क्लास ले रहा हूँ अभी. हाँ बताओ वैसे 2 मिनट बता दो क्या कर रहे हो. हाँ मैं तुमको कॉल करूंगा. ओके बाय. Right. So, okay. Next question, please. So, Amy, what do you learn from this?
So I learned that for the first part, it's about, we always use so that y equals mx plus c form. If they've given variables that you need to use, you have to sub those variables in. And it's all about really understanding what the question's asking. So when you say n years after 1997, it's really easy to, because you just see n years, you just put 1997 as n, and then all the coordinates would kind of go out. So that's the main part. And then part B, it's about understanding the question. So I think I remember when I did it, I subbed in the outcome into the equation and then got my number of years. But because the rest of the question following is all saying we're trying to look at the outcome, you shouldn't be putting the outcome in. We want to see what was expected. So that's where I lost the marks. So yeah, now I understand.
Good. Next question, please.
It's question 5. These aren't my working out. It was just ignore them. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah. So what is the question here?
So figure 1 shows the design for a structure used to support a roof. The structure consists of 4 steel beams, AB, BD, BC, and AD. Given that AB is 12 meters, BC equals BD, which is 7 meters, and angle BAC is 27 degrees. Part A, find to 1 decimal place the size of angle ACB.
Yes, this angle you have to find, right?
Yeah.
Okay, correct. So you are given one angle and you have the other two sides given to you.
Mm.
Since you have a combination of opposite side with the angle, you can apply the sine law, correct?
Yeah.
Now, you can apply the sine law and find the angle. So if you apply sine law, what do you get? You get sine of angle, let me write this as ACB, which you need to find, over the side 12 should be equal to sine of 27 degrees over the side 7. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Now, whenever you apply sine law, since you are having an acute angle, right? You have an acute angle. There could be ambiguous cases. You understand ambiguous case?
No.
Okay. The thing here is that this particular 7 could form different angles. I mean, as shown here, this also is a triangle form, correct?
What ABD?
ADB is also a triangle form, correct?
Yeah.
They have actually given you a hint here. Hint is that from B, I can actually make two triangles, correct? So when you use sine law, you will get an angle, right? But think about it. This is your formula when you apply to the triangle ACB, right? Is that clear?
Yeah.
But think about applying the same formula for the bigger triangle, triangle ADB. In that case, what will be the angle D? Tell me. Sine of angle D over opposite side is 12, right? Is equal to
Oh, is it the same?
sine of angle 27
Over
over
7.
7. You get the idea.
Oh.
So you have two equations which are giving you the same result. And obviously, these two angles are not same, correct?
No.
Now find the result. What is angle D? Let's find angle D first.
So will that just be the same, 51.1?
So angle D will be 12 over 7 sine of 27, and you calculate this as 51.1 degrees, correct?
Yeah.
Now clearly from this figure, as you can see, angle D is greater than angle C, right?
Mm-hmm.
Angle D is greater than angle C. And since this is an isosceles triangle, this angle is 51, same as angle D, 51.1 degrees, correct? So what should be this angle C? It should be 180 minus 51.1 degrees, correct?
Mm.
So in ambiguous cases, we get two angles. If theta is one angle, the other one is 180 degrees minus theta.
Oh, so that was a bit misleading. Okay. Yeah, because I think like even the working out that you can see that that girl must have done, because when you calculate with the sign, because we're trying to find ACB, you're getting 51.1. So she placed that there, and then she's putting the other one as 128. So it doesn't really add up because, like, even though it's not because of the not to scale part, you're going to think to yourself, is it really like that? But it's not so off. So yeah.
Now let me again remind you, your board is actually very, I should say, favorable to you because they are giving you steps. The idea of giving this particular 7 as same as 7 is actually to put you on the track. This
Yeah.
that well, it could be an ambiguous case. You understand?
Mm.
Because you see,
ring a bell.
sine law is being applied here in the given situation. Now you have to make a judgment. They are asking for find the angle ACB, which should be the other angle, the obtuse one. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
So that is how you're going to answer this question, right?
I see. Yeah.
Okay, so what is part B?
Part C. Find the steel beams can only be bought in whole meter lengths.
Okay.
Find the minimum length of steel that needs to be bought to make the complete structure.
So that means length of each you need to find, right?
Yeah.
So we already know the length of these three, right? And you can now calculate the length of the other side using sine law, right?
Yeah.
That should not be a problem, correct?
I did that, yeah. So that question was good. So yeah, it was just part A.
Yeah, that is correct. Correct. So that's correct.
Cool.
Perfect. Yeah, next question.
This way. Part 6A. Actually, B is the issue, but we
Okay.
won't through it, I guess.
Please read the question.
Okay, so find the first 4 terms in ascending powers of x in the binomial expansion of 1 plus kx to the power of 10, where k is a non-zero constant.
Correct.
Write each coefficient as simply as possible.
Correct. So actually, that means this is an example of binomial theorem, right?
Yeah.
If I have a plus b to the power of n, in that case, my expansion is nc0, right? A to the power of n plus nc1, a to the power of n minus 1, b plus nc2 times a to the power of n minus 2, b square, right? Plus so on till b to the power of n, correct? Now, in your particular case, they're saying find the first 4 terms in ascending powers of x. That means increasing powers of x, which is b, right? So increasing powers of x means we have to write these first 4 terms. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Right. And where a is 1 for you, right? So a is 1 for you. And all these parameters, let's rewrite the equation now. So let me clear this screen. So I'm writing the equation 1 plus k x, right, to the power of 10. So the first will be 10c0,
0.
that is 1. And then we have 10c1, k, correct, x. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
We have 10c2, and this k
kx
to
squared.
the power of 2, plus 10c3, kx cube. Is that clear?
Cube.
Plus, so these are first 4 terms, right? So those terms you neglect. Says find the first 4 terms in ascending powers of x in binomial expansion where k is non-zero. Write each coefficient as simply as possible. Correct? So n is 10 for us. Let me write 10 here. Now you can calculate what is 10c0, 10c1, 10c2, and all those things. Correct? And c0 is 1, right? This is 10, correct?
Yeah.
So you get 1 plus
10 kx plus 45 k squared x squared.
K square x square, okay, let me write k square x square, fine. And then
plus 120 k cubed x cubed.
So you get this expression. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now, given that the expansion of this, the coefficient of x cube is 3 times the coefficient of x. So coefficient of x is 10, correct? 10k. And x cube is 120k cube.
Oh, yeah.
Read again.
So given that in the expansion of 1 plus kx to the power of 10, the coefficient of x cubed is 3 times the coefficient of x.
So you write your equation, 120 k cube is 3 times 10k.
Is 3 times 10k.
Which is the coefficient of x. Is that clear to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now k square, you can cancel one of the k's because k is non-zero, right? You know, k is not equal to 0. So that is not a solution, of course. And then you will say k square is equals to, you can simplify this, right? 3 times 10 means, let me write 3 times 10 over 120 for now. Is it okay? So 10 and 10 cancels, 3 goes 4 times. So you get 1 over 4, right? So k is equal to half. Is it clear? Now, if you do square root, you could write both plus and minus. Now it's saying where k is a non-zero constant, correct?
So it can't be 0. Yeah, so plus or minus half.
So it can't, but it could be positive or negative. You get the idea?
I see. Okay. Yeah.
So both will be your answer.
Right. Okay.
When you do square root, is this clear to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So any doubts? Can you explain this?
Yeah. So the first part is just binomial expansion. The rules learned there. Like you said, when you expand, and because they only want the first 4 terms, we need to make sure we just do up to like A, C, and then 3, because we've got the first part. And then when it says as simply as possible, they just want you to do all that C, like 10C1,
Right.
10C0, and then cancel everything down. And then part B is just kind of forming your equation. So in the expansion, yeah, you want the coefficient of x cubed. So because we've got the k there, we can't just like leave that out. You can't just do 45. Like you need the k part as well. So yeah, we do that 3 times the coefficient of x. So we had the coefficient of x as 10k, and then we solved by cancelling out the k's and then simplifying, and we got k as either 0 or plus or minus half. But you can't have the 0 because it says in the first part A, where k is a non-zero.
0 doesn't make sense, right? If it is 0, it is 1 to the power of 10, correct? So it does, that doesn't
Yeah.
make sense.
Right.
Correct. So plus minus half, both answers should be reported. Is it okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Next question, please.
Okay, so what's that? Oh, I'm just not doing that. Question 7, I guess.
Okay.
Oh yeah, question 7.
Yes. Can you please read the question?
Yeah. So given that k is a positive constant, and the integral between k and 1, where 5 over 2 root x plus 3
Equals to 4.
equals to 4. Is that integral? No, it's not. It's differentiation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Definitely.
Yeah. Equals to 4. So part A, show that 3k plus 5 root k minus 12 is 0.
Correct. So just find the integral for this. You know the rules, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
So
the
yeah, part A was good. It was part B.
So we have 1 to 4, 1 to k. So the integral of this is what? Tell me.
5x minus half.
5 over 2. And then x to the power of half. What will you write?
Minus x to the power of minus half. Or no?
Minus half, yes.
Oh, plus 3.
Divided by. No, what did you finally get? Because you have to add n plus 1, and you will add
divide by
half plus 1, half, right?
Yeah. So when I finally did, I got 5x to the power of half plus 3x to the power of, no, that was it, 3x.
Okay, let's write down the answer which you got, right? So we'll write like this in that case, right? Yeah. What do you get from 1 to k? What is the answer? What do you get? Integral of this?
5x to the power of a half plus 3x.
Oh, those fractions cancelled. Half, yeah, 2 times half, yeah, they will cancel, correct. And this is equal to 4, correct?
Yeah.
So now you can actually plug in k here, right? Instead of x. And so what do you get? 5 square root k
plus 3k
minus, when you put 1 here, so it is 5, correct?
5
minus 3. Is it okay? Equals to 4. Is it clear?
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you, we'll just rearrange. So we get 3k plus 5 square root k minus 5, and we'll bring this 4 also here. So we have minus 8 minus 4 equals to 0. And that gives you this equation. Is that clear?
Minus 12. Yeah.
So we get the first part. Now, then it says, hence, using algebra, find any value of k such that this is equal to 4. So you have to solve for it now, right?
Yeah.
So you have to solve this equation. It's a quadratic equation, correct?
Mm.
So if you find it difficult that way, you can say substitute square root of k as equal to, let us say, x, or let's say p. So you can write this as 3p square plus 5p minus 12 equals to 0. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So you can factor this. You can factor this, correct?
Yeah.
Use formula, or you can factor 36.
You get 3p minus 4 and then p plus 3.
equals to 0. So that gives you p-value as 4 over 3 or p-value as -3, correct? But p is square root of k, correct? Square root of k.
Yeah.
This is the value of square root of k, right? So we
So you
have
can't have a negative
yeah.
answer.
The square root of k is 4 over 3, and that is not valid. Is that clear?
Yeah.
K is square of this, which is 16 over 9. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
So that becomes your answer.
Oh, I did a really stupid mistake. When I squared it for some, actually, oh yeah, no, I didn't actually. This is what I wanted to ask. So I did I did plus 16 over 9, and I also did minus 16 over 9.
Why do you get minus? When you square, you get positive only, right?
Well, yeah, you can't do square root of a negative.
Yeah.
Oh.
The square will always be positive. Yeah. So that should be your answer. Is that clear?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I started dealing with like k to the power of a half instead of square root k. So I guess it's kind of a non-familiar like setup. So yeah, I got a bit flustered.
So substitution helps, because you're familiar with the working quadratic equation in that fashion, correct?
Yeah.
So rewrite
definitely.
your equation in standard form and then work it out.
Oh, okay. Yep. So
next question, please.
Oh yeah. So this one. That was okay. Oh, this one. So A and B were all good. It was just C, but we can work through, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, it starts here.
Yeah.
So figure 3 shows part of the curve with the equation y equals 3 cos x. The point P, which is CD, is a minimum point on the curve, with C being the smallest negative value of x at which the minimum occurs. Part A, state the value of C and the value of D.
Okay, so how much will it be?
So I said C is minus 180 and D is minus 3.
So yeah, so point P is the x value being minus 180 degrees and the amplitude being 3. So it is -3, right? Correct. That's fine. And now part B.
Part B, it says state the coordinates of the point at which P is mapped by the transformation which transforms the curve with the equation y equals 3 cos x to the curve with the equation part I, which is 3 cos x over 4.
Yeah. So state the coordinates of the point to which P is mapped. So you have to map P to the new function, right? And in the function, what we have done is we have only horizontally stretched by a factor of 4, right?
Yeah.
So what will happen? Only the x value is going to change, right?
Yeah.
So minus 180 is going to be multiplied by 4, correct?
Yeah.
So just multiply, right? Though. So you get P dash. So 360, 720, right?
Minus 720. Yep. Minus 3.
So that is for part A. And the second one is y equals to 3 cos of x minus 36. So when you say minus 36, it is moving right 36 units, right? So just add 36 to it. So we have the second parameter as add minus 180 plus 36. What do you get?
Minus 144 minus 3.
Correct. Next.
So part C now. Solve for theta, which is in between 450 degrees and 720 degrees, where 3 cos theta equals 8 tan theta, giving your solution to 1 decimal place.
Correct. So this is independent equation. Let's erase what we did earlier, correct?
Yeah.
This is independent. So theta is between 450 and 720. So you have an equation. We can bring all the terms together to one side and then solve it, correct?
Right.
So 3 cos theta minus 8 tan theta equals to 0, correct? So we get our equation. Tan theta is sine over cos. Sine over cos. It's better to write them in sine and cosine, correct? So 3 cos theta minus 8 sine theta over cos theta equals to 0, correct? Now we can take cos theta as a common denominator. So we get 3 cos square theta minus 8 sine theta equals to 0, correct?
Yeah.
We'll multiply everything by cos theta, correct? So in that case, we get this equation. Now we should write the equation in only one term, right? So cos square theta can be written as 1 minus sine square theta.
Sine square theta.
So open the bracket. And rewrite the equation, making this coefficient as positive, okay? So you get 3 sine square theta plus 8 sine theta minus 3 equals to 0. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Now you can factor this. 3 times 3 is minus 9, right?
Yeah. So
and you can factor. Can you factor?
Plus 9 and minus 1.
So what do you get equation as? Sine?
3 sine
plus 9 sine theta minus sine theta minus 3 equals to 0, right? So you can take 3 sine theta common.
I need to kind of write it down, but yeah.
Yeah. Sine theta minus 3, right? And you get minus sine theta plus 3 and sine theta plus 3, correct? So we get sine theta plus 3 times 3 sine theta minus 1. Just check. Is it correct?
I don't have the answers for this one.
No. I'm just saying your calculation is correct, right?
I actually, when I did it incorrectly, but
okay, don't worry.
do it. Yeah.
Don't worry. So basically, let me just summarize this. We'll bring tan theta to one side, multiply by cos theta. So you get a quadratic equation. 3 cos square theta minus 8 sine theta equals to 0. And cos square theta is replaced by 1 minus sine square theta. Open the bracket. And you get a quadratic equation in sine theta. Now, factor this equation. Once you factor, you get sine theta plus 3 times 3 sine theta minus 1. Is it okay?
Right. Yeah.
This is the equation which we are going to solve. So I'd like you to copy the equation. I'll erase all this and then start with the equation. Is it okay? Because I need space to work, right?
Oh, okay. Wait, so let me just...
copy the equation. So I'll also write down sine theta
plus 3.
Now sine theta plus 3 will not give me any solution because
you get negative.
Sine theta is restricted. Right?
Yeah.
Between plus and minus 1. However, this will give me solution, correct? This is going to give me a solution which is sine
theta equals 1/3.
3, correct? Now sine theta is 1/3. Using the cast rule, we actually get two solutions, which is in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 2.
Yeah.
So basically, we'll find the related acute angle. Is that clear? So we'll find the related acute angle. Let's call this alpha. Normally, books will write beta. Okay. So we are saying sine alpha is equal to 1/3. So alpha is equal to sine inverse of 1/3.
Which is 19.47. So 19.5 maybe. Or
Okay, that's good. 19.5 degrees is the angle alpha. But remember, we are working in a domain which is from 450 to 720, right? So we'll look into this also. But first, let's find the related acute angle. Is that okay? 19.5 degrees, correct? So let me erase this and rework, right? So basically, we found that 3 sine theta minus 1 equals to 0 gives us sine theta equals to 1/3. So theta is sine inverse of 1/3. right? I mean, I should not write theta. I'm working on acute angle alpha.
Right. Yeah.
So because the answer is not in that particular domain, we are looking into the domain which is from 450 to 720, right? Further
Right.
ahead, correct? Further ahead. So we got one of the solutions, which is, what did we get? 19.5?
We got 19.47.
So 19.5 degrees I'll write, correct?
Okay.
Other
Is
angle,
it,
yes.
sorry, sir, is it okay to round early, or should you recommend, like, do you
No.
recommend me leaving it as a 4?
In this case, we are only adding something to it, so it is
Okay.
okay at this
Okay.
stage, right? The other angle is how much, Amy? 180 minus?
180 minus the 19.47,
Yeah, so
which is 160.5.
correct. So these are the two angles. However, these two angles are not in the
In the
domain
domain.
required. Now,
Oh,
you're working in which equation? Theta, right? So what is
Yeah.
the time period? So time period is 360 degrees. Is it okay?
so we know that
At
because,
so that is the next cycle, right? So this is a sine wave, correct?
oh yeah, yeah, so it has to be
So
plus
you have to
360.
add 360, correct?
Yeah.
For example, you got these 2 points, correct? But you have to find the next 2 points. Is that correct?
Yeah, until we get into the domain.
Add 360 to them, right?
Mm.
So we have
So-
two values, which is 160.5 plus 360,
Mhm.
and the other angle is 19.5 plus 360 in degrees, right?
Yeah. So the first one, you get 520.5. And the second one, you get 379.5. So I need to add another 360 to that one.
Another 360.
739.5. So you
That is
can't
also
have it.
outside,
Yeah.
correct? So basically, in this particular case, within the given domain, you only get one answer.
Mm. Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yeah. So do you think them saying giving your solution, it's like obviously hinting at only one solution, or do you think that's just a coincidence? Because sometimes they say give all possible, like it looks like there's multiple.
Yeah. But you looked into it very carefully. I was actually expecting more than one solution.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, because usually with these questions we do, don't we?
Yeah, but you can't help it now because you have to add the period and see when. So that means we got one of the solutions, the other one is out of the domain in which they are interested in finding.
Okay. Okay.
Correct. So that's why we got one solution. Of course, it makes sense because maybe the domain was this, right? So we got one which gave us the value. Perfect. But anyway, you understood the method of doing it, right?
Yes, I did, definitely. Okay.
Perfect.
That's clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have we got time for any more? Or
we can actually stretch a bit. Yes, sure. Yeah.
this we could do this question if that's okay.
Question 11. Read.
Question 11, part I. A circle C1 has equation x squared plus y squared plus 18x minus 2y plus 30 equals 0. The line L is the tangent to C1 at the point P, which is minus 5, 7. And find an equation of line L in the form ax plus by plus c equals 0, where a, b, and c are integers to be found.
Correct. So basically, to find this equation of the tangent, you need the slope, right? You need the slope. How will you find the slope?
Radius f. I got square root of f squared plus g squared minus c.
Yeah, you find the center first. So what is the center for this line?
The center is minus 9, 1.
What is your method of finding the center?
Right. You know that method where you do 2f equals the 18 because that's f, that's the x part, and then you got 2g which equals minus 2, which is the y part, and then individually you find and then switch the signs.
Perfect.
Okay.
So you know the formula. That is the right answer. For the benefit of the students, let me tell you, how can they find the center? So basically, you're going to complete the square. So you write this as x squared plus 18x, right? Half of 18 is 9, right? So you'll add 9 square and you'll subtract 9 square. And on the other side, we have got y squared minus 2y, half of minus 2 or 2 is 1. So you will
Yeah.
add 1 and subtract 1, correct? And plus 30, you can write this as, you can write plus 30 here itself equals to 0. So these three terms will give you a perfect square, which is x plus 9 whole square. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
And these three terms will give you a perfect square, which is y minus 1 whole square. And combining 81, this and this, you get the radius. You get the radius, which is, it we bring it to the other side, which is 81 minus 30, and then minus 1 becomes plus 1. So you get these, that is the radius. Is that clear to you?
Yeah.
Radius square, I mean, radius square. Is it okay? So you can add, you don't need it. But the important thing here is that that is the center, minus 9. So it has translated 9 units left, which gives you minus 9. So the center here is at minus 9, and 1 unit, it has gone up, and therefore it will be plus 1, correct?
Yeah.
Becomes the center, and we are given the point P, which is minus 5 and 7. So with these 2 points, let's say O and P, we can find their slope, gradient, and negative reciprocal will be gradient of the tangent line.
Yeah.
So basically, let's find the gradient M now. So gradient M will be 7 minus 1 divided by minus 5 plus 9, and that gives you 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2, right? So it's a positive slope. The diagram is not quite right. Anyway, I just wrote it, right? Okay. It's a positive slope. 7 is positive. Okay.
Oh, no, but won't the tangent be minus 2/3? So it'll be negative.
Okay, so we'll do negative reciprocal of this, correct? Yeah, this is slope OP, correct? This is OP.
Yeah.
Now,
So
the tangent will be the negative reciprocal, negative 2 over 3, correct?
Yeah.
So now you can write down the equation of the tangent. So which is y equals to, you can use any form. You can write y minus y1. So y1, let's say 7, is equal to the gradient minus 2 over 3, x minus the point given to us as minus 5. So that makes it plus 5, correct? So you can now multiply and simplify and get your equation. Is that clear to you?
Yeah, yeah.
So 3 times y minus 7 equals to minus 2x minus 10. Is it okay? Bring them, these terms together and write it in the form required, right? They have said write it in standard form. This A plus B is standard form, right? So bring them all together, correct? So you get your equation, which is 3y minus 21. Yeah, we should have done plus 20x. We'll simplify and write down, right? Plus 10 equals to 0, right? And now you can simplify, write down your answer. So we get x term is 2x, right? So
2x plus
3y.
3y minus 11.
Minus 11 equals to 0. Is it okay?
Yeah.
So that is your answer. You can do the calculations again and check if it is correct.
Yeah, definitely.
But that is the method of doing it. Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Simple. But you know, this question is very, very tricky. Can you explain, Amy, your approach in solving and answering this question?
Yeah. So we've got a equation for a circle here, but we haven't got the center or the radius. So whether they ask it or not, it's just good to find out those two things, because maybe later on in the question you'd need them. So so the approach I used was either the formula, if I could remember in the exam, that would help, then I could get the center and the radius directly. But if not, then you can't just be sitting there, because it is 5 marks, so you have to know other methods. So the method that you said, sir, was the completing the square method. Yeah, so you take the x squared plus the 18x, and adding 9 squared and subtracting 9 squared is basically not doing anything, but because you can, it's like adding 0, but because of that factorizing of the 9 squared, you can factor out the 2 terms, and then you get your 2 little quadratics, which you can just say the center is minus 9 and 1, and then from there, from that big equation that you did with completing the square, the 2 leftovers would make up your radius. So that's there. And then I think the main thing about that question was also sketching a diagram just to see like the tangent is the negative reciprocal of the other gradient that you found with the radius, and just kind of plotting a rough little sketch of the point -5 and 7 in line with the center point of the circle and everything. So then from there, you want to get it into the form that they've given in the question. Don't just do y equals mx plus c. So it's important, but yeah.
So that is how you're going to do it, right? So standard formula which Emmy is referring to is this particular formula, right? It
Yes,
is the
that one.
equation center form, which gives you the center directly as minus g minus f, right? So
Right.
that means half of the coefficient of x with the negative sign and half the coefficient of y with the negative sign is the center of the circle. Clear?
Yeah.
Perfect. So I think that's it for today, and we can
All right.
continue later with this, right? So
Okay.
I hope that helped.
It was super helpful, sir. Thank you so much. It's good to see, because in the exam, I've just noticed with some of the things, I can see that my approach was going in the right way, but either when I see kind of like a block or something, I just stop everything, or the nerves get to me and then I just go a different route suddenly. Because like that binomial question, I just remember when I was doing it, it was like, it said 3 times the value of the coefficient.
Okay.
Somehow I wrote 108, which it says 3 times. Like the 108 doesn't have to do anything with that. It's just the pressure, sometimes, and you just write down a number and then get carried away. So yeah, I guess it's just being about like really precise, knowing your formulas and understanding the question as well.
Perfect. Okay, then all the best. Keep sharing, and let's see you in the next class.
Thank you so much for your help. Thank you, sir.
My
Bye.
pleasure. My pleasure. Bye.